Sun is tough. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's 2025 Men's Lacrosse Senior Day. We would like to take a few moments before the start of today's game to recognize the senior class for all they have contributed to the Illinois Tech lacrosse program. First up, number 5, Yano Porter. Yano is the second leading point scorer in program history with 126 career points. Hailing from Haydenville, Massachusetts, Yano is studying business administration at the Stuart School of Business. He is accompanied today by his mother, Laura Porter, his godmother, Gail, and Tanya. Yano's favorite memory was winning their first ever game freshman year on a beautiful 70-degree day in February. After graduation, Yano plans to pursue his master's in finance. Let's give a round of applause for Yano Porter. Next up, number 7, number 11, and number 7, Ty Dwyer. Ty is a two-way midfielder out of Lindenhurst, Illinois, who is studying computer science. Today, Ty is accompanied by his parents, Larry and Tracy Dwyer. Ty's favorite memory of his time with Illinois Tech Lacrosse was walking out of the locker room doors every day with friends and teammates. After graduation, Ty plans to work in software engineering in the Chicago area. Let's give a round of applause for Ty Dwyer. Next up, number 8, Kyle Johnson. Kyle was a 2024 honorable mention all-NAC selection and two-time team captain out of Lakewood, California, studying architecture. Today, Kyle is being accompanied by his parents, Sonia and Eric Johnson, and his brother, Nick Johnson. Kyle's favorite Illinois Tech lacrosse memory is the first trip to Nashville for the Music City Classic in 2023 and buying cowboy boots as a group. After graduation, Kyle will be embarking on a ski trip around the world before working as a project engineer in California. Please give a round of applause for Kyle Johnson. Next up, number 9, Jonathan Vitale. John is a two-way midfielder out of Howell, New Jersey, who is studying architecture here at Illinois Tech. John is accompanied by his mother, Janine Vitale, and his father, Vincent Vitale. His favorite memory of Illinois Tech lacrosse is getting lunch with Coach Frank and Coach Ollie after Saturday morning practices. After college, John is planning to work in construction management in Chicago. Please give a round of applause for Jonathan Vitale. And our final senior that we're honoring today, number 12, Jackson Brass. Jackson is the program's all-time leading scorer. He's a 3-time All-NAC selection and a 3-time captain out of Woodland Hills, California, who's studying engineering management with a specialization in mechanical engineering. He is accompanied today by his mother, Rhonda Jackson, father, Reginald Brass, and co-parents Paul Sylvia and Datra Pacheco, along with his brother, Matthew. Jackson's favorite Illinois Tech memory was playing as a complete dominant unit against Concordia, Wisconsin, 2 games in a row to advance to the conference championship in 2023. After the season, Jackson will be a project engineering intern with Helm Group, working on Northwestern's new football stadium, which he hopes to turn into a full-time offer come graduation in December. Let's give a round of applause for Jackson Brass. Throughout their times at Illinois Tech, the class of 2025 has won 31 games. They've accumulated a 21-10 conference record, and they've qualified for 2 NAC postseasons and finished as the 2023 NAC runners-up. Let's give it up for Illinois Tech Lacrosse senior class of 2025. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Stuart Field for today's men's lacrosse matchup. This is a Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference matchup between the visiting Cornell College Rams and your Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. Illinois Tech and the NCAA promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and the officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or other abusive comments and actions directed at the officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and may be grounds for removal from Stuart Field. So we'll set. And now let's meet our starting lineups. First for the visiting Rams, a junior defender from Westminster, Colorado, number 4, Ben Schwartz. Senior long stick midfielder from St. Paul, Minnesota, number 6, Alex Wallace. Senior goalkeeper from Anthem, Arizona, number 8, Thomas Cook. Senior defender from Fort Worth, Texas, number 9, Zach Arnold. Senior faceoff specialist from Johnston, Iowa, number 11, Ash Holscher. Sophomore midfielder attacker from Imperial Beach, California, number 17, Charlie Kobitz. Senior attacker from Temecula, California, number 23, Matt Norwood. Junior attacker from Portland, Oregon, number 28, John Leon Pennell. Senior midfielder from Norwalk, Iowa, number 30, Landon Card. And a senior defender from Oakdale, Minnesota, number 32, Tori Grace Collins. The Rams are coached by head coach Lane Zerton in his 8th year. Assistant coaches Kurt Kroc, Peter Plow, and Jaden DeFields. And now your starting lineup for your Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. A first-year defender from Woodbury, Minnesota, number 2, Bodie Gortson. Junior attacker from Denver, Pennsylvania, number 3, Alexander Stocker. A graduate student defender from Bay Village, Ohio, number 4, Henry Rankin. Senior attacker from Haydenville, Massachusetts, number 5, Yano Porter. First-year attacker from Morgantown, West Virginia, number 7, Connor Montgomery. A senior goalkeeper from Lakewood, California, number 8, Kyle Johnson. Sophomore defender from Round Lake Beach, Illinois, number 10, Owen Silverman. Senior attacker from Woodland Hills, California, number 12, Jackson Brass. Junior midfielder from Los Angeles, California, number 20, Diego Sosa. And a first-year attacker from Berkeley, California, number 32, Mark Rabusi. The Scarlet Hawks are coached by head coach Dan Sharbaugh in his 6th season. Assistant coaches Frank Weschler and Oliver Kennedy. Your officials for today's match, referee Brian Feeney, umpire Joseph Pettinger, and field judge Robert Knapp. And hello, everyone, and we're underway here at Stuart Field for the start of men's lacrosse between Cornell College Rams and your host, Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks, on Senior Day, as you got a chance, if you tuned in early, to see the Senior Day festivities for the Hawks 5 seniors. Yano Porter, Kyle Johnson, Jonathan Vitale, Ty Dwyer, and Jackson Brass. Those were the seniors that were honored before today's game. And we just gave you the starting lineups for both teams. The Hawks wearing their black road jerseys for this senior day. All black with white numerals and trim. Oh! Nifty underhanded shot there from Mark Rebusi, goes wide, but the Hawks retain possession as they work it around up high. The Rams with white tops today with purple shorts. And turnover. Looks like the Hawks are trying to get it back, and they will. It's Jackson Brass. So Brass retains possession for the Scarlet Hawks. They'll reset the shot clock. Sunny afternoon here in Chicago. Mid-50s, a little bit of a breeze. It's a nice day for lacrosse considering some of the weather we've had previously, as the Hawks will turn it over. And it'll be Cornell possession here. Thanks for tuning in to the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network for this Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference match between the Cornell College Rams and the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. This is Eric Willowhite, Sports Information Director for Illinois Tech Athletics. Going to bring you the call for today's men's game. We had the women's game prior to that. That was a 17-2 victory for the Cornell College Rams in the women's lacrosse match. And now the men's team take the field here again on this senior day recognition. So a nice day for senior day, a good crowd in attendance. Hawks work it around. Oh, they tried to go over to the far side of Jackson Brass, but it sailed out of bounds. They're going to say that one was deflected, so the Hawks will retain possession. Diego Sosa. Porter up high to Connor Montgomery. They'll swing it over to Brass, and those two will change positions. Oh, and then a nice stick work there from Tyler Foster, deflecting that one out of bounds. It'll be Hawk ball, but there's only 26 seconds on the shot clock. And the Hawks will work it around Stockerp. Stockerp up high. Montgomery fires a shot, and that one goes wide. Or high, I should say. Jackson Brass in position for the restart for the Hawks. 16 seconds on the shot clock. He goes up high, and winging the shot, Will Von Iser, and a save made. A goalkeeper, Thomas Cook. Cook, your goalkeeper for the Rams, the 5'7" senior out of Anthem, Arizona. And for the Scarlet Hawks, senior Kyle Johnson out of Lakewood, California. And quick possession here for Cornell as they have it behind the Hawks' net. They'll look to move it around over to the near side. They go with Charlie Kobitz. Kobitz now battling with Bodie Gortson. And Kobitz will go high with it over to Ben Wojcicki. Looking for a lane they were. Didn't find one. Now back to Kobitz behind the net, battling with Gortson. Inside, outside. Goes near side, does Kobitz. And back up high to Brandon Warnke. Warnke will find Wojcicki up high in the circle as he tries to lean in, and guarding him tightly was Jaeger Brault. And then a bad pass intended for Kobitz. Goes over the back line. That'll be Hawk possession as Johnson looks for an outlet here. He's getting pressured, however, from Matt Norwood. They'll give it up over to Bodie Gortson on the far sideline. Gortson now being hassled by Kobitz. Hands it to Henry Rankin. Rankin with the quick outlet over to Micah Manukian. And Manukian will run it through the circle and a clear for the Hawks. Good job by Rankin to find Manukian, and he did the rest. And now the Hawks will set up shop. Yano Porter behind the net. Over to Stockerp on the far side. No score, 10-14 to go here in The opening quarter, as Connor Montgomery will have it up high. Diego Sosa now to his right, and that's where he goes with it. Here's Sosa, finds a lane, threw it in tight to Stocker, but Cook was there. Nice pass by Sosa. Stocker didn't have a whole lot on it, and Cook was able to make the save. Now here comes shot and a score. As that's Matt Norwood on a feed from Tyler Foster, number 7. And the Rams strike first, 1-0. Cornell goal scored by number 23, Matt Norwood. Assist number 7, Tyler Foster. And we're going to get penalties on the Hawks as a couple flags went flying. Now, fierce battle there for the ball. Gortson gets it, but now we're going to get the flags, so the penalties will be called. And we'll see who's coming off here. It could be Henry Rankin, as he's heading over to the sideline. We'll hear the penalty. So a 30-second penalty on Jaeger Brault. So man-up opportunity here early for Cornell. They have a 1-0 lead. And 30-second man-up opportunity for the Rams. They'll work it around the top. Kobitz over to Foster. Far side, Lynch. Oh, fanning on it there was Foster's. He really didn't get much on that one. It went wide. Rams on the restart. Lynch, Kobitz, and Kobitz pass. I think that might have been caused by Alton Brown. He might have got a piece of that one. And it's a turnover for the Rams. They'll pass the ball to Manukian. Manukian not going to be able to get it. Goes out of bounds. Penalty should be over. Almost. Well, penalty is over. Both teams back at full strength. A little confusion on the sideline there, but it was down to 8:57 when the penalty expired. 30 seconds on Brault. Slipping for a moment there was Brandon Warnke. And then his pass intended for Lynch goes wide over to the far side. So a lot of turnovers here early. There's Owen Diwasaki. He's looking for an outlet. He's getting pressured from Norwood. Diwasaki, he's going to carry the mail through the circle, and he clears. Nice job by Diwasaki as he was getting pressured by Norwood, among others. Now Stocker fires. Oh, and a save made by Cook. So another shot attempt from Stocker on Cook, and Cook denies him a second time. Now a stretch pass there from Zach Arnold. And we're going to get a push on the Hawks, so that'll be Cornell ball. They reset the shot clock. Landon Card behind the net. Lofts it up high. And there to recover is Caden Weaver, number 16. Back to Weaver on the far side. Weaver doing a dance there and push down, and we're going to get a flag on Drake Dubeck. So Dubeck will get whistled for the push. "30-second penalty on Drake Dubeck there on the push. So it'll be another man-up opportunity for Cornell. They were unable to score on their first attempt. 30-second penalty for Dubeck. to 6:54 will be the release time. They work it around the perimeter to Lynch on the near side. Back to Lynch. Then they'll go up high to Dubeck, and that pass is errant pass recovered by Brault. So the Hawks short-handed. Now Brault will circle it behind the net, kill some more time off the clock. And in a few seconds, we'll be back at full strength. All right, penalty is over. Both teams back at full strength as the Hawks are looking to set up offense here. They go up high to Connor Montgomery. Montgomery over to Brass. Brass shoots! And I think Cook got a piece of that one. Cook, a brick wall there so far in the early going. And then another pass goes over the back line. So again, a lot of unforced turnovers here by both teams. The latest one by Cornell. Now they'll look to move it upfield. Micah Manukian. He's going to run it. He gets the ball dislodged, but picked up by Brass. Brass battling, getting double teamed. They'll swing it on over to Diego Sosa on the far side. He'll slow things down, wait for some reinforcements as Will Von Iser will check in. Also Mark Rabusi. Up high, Von Iser over to Sosa. Active sticks there from the Rams, keeping things out on the perimeter for the moment. Now Von Iser over to Sosa. Sosa fakes the pass, fakes another pass, and then his shot was just went high. Not sure if Cornell got a piece of that one. It sort of looked like it was deflected, but shot goes wide by Von Iser. Hawks will retain possession. There's only 20 seconds on the shot clock. Sosa will have it on the restart. Here we go. Rabusi over to Von Iser. Up high to Connor Montgomery. Swinging it over to Yano Porter. Back to Montgomery. Montgomery being double teamed. Here's Porter. Now Brass. Brass looking for a lane. Bounce shot save Cook. And Cook will look to get the ground ball. And it's going to be Hawk ball after the violation there. So Hawk will have it with a full 80 seconds on the shot clock, trailing 1-0. We're down to 4:54 here in the first quarter. Low scoring affair so far. Good defense being supplied by both teams. Sosa works it. Pass is intercepted. Picked off there by Tori Grace Collins. He gets it over to Card. Grace Collins tried to get the reception back, and he's able to pick it up. The long stick midfielder with a shot and a score. Tori Grace Collins with the goal, and the Rams go up 2-0. Cornell goal scored by number 32, Tori Grace Collins, unassisted. So an unassisted tally for Grace Collins as he forces the turnover, gets the steal, and then winds up scoring on the shot past Johnson. We go to the circle. Canyon Kukul going up against Ash Holscher, and it's going to be face-off violation for the Hawks, so Cornell will take possession. Streaming into the zone is Holscher. Holscher going wide, and he loses possession. And it'll be Hawk ball. So good dogged defense there. Now the Hawks will push it upfield. Here's Micah Manukian. Manukian gets past two defenders, three defenders, into the attack zone. Lofts it over to Porter. Porter looking for an outlet. He's getting double teamed behind the net. He'll swing it up high to Brass. Brass, slingshot, save made Cook. Picking up his own rebound is Brass. Now he's got Stockerp on the far side. Boy, what a job in net by Thomas Cook. Denying the Hawks so far With 3:33 to go in the first quarter, here's Brass. Now Brault back to Brass. And getting in the way of that one again is Tori Grace Collins. So the Hawks have to be aware of the long stick midfielder. That's his second steal. Now Cook will wing it over to the near side up to Ben Schwartz. Schwartz looking to clear, and he does. And he passed it to his numeral sake on the Hawks, Henry Rankin. Now Kyle Johnson is cleared. Oh, but then his pass sails high, intended for Bodie Gortson, so a turnover for Johnson and the Hawks. 2:49 to go here in the first quarter. 2-0 lead for the Rams. Even though there's only been 2 goals, it's been a high-octane first quarter in terms of pace. Although it usually is with men's lacrosse, but these teams transitioning back and forth quickly. Oh, and then Hawks and Rankin just tossed that one towards the circle. No one in particular was looking for it, and so that's a turnover. And then a high shot. That's going to be Illinois Tech ball. So they'll give Illinois Tech possession. They got lucky on that one, though, as Rankin's pass up the chute, no one for the Hawks knew it was coming, and so they were kind of not prepared. And then another turnover as that pass intended for Brass sails over the back line. So these teams might want to slow things down a bit, and that's exactly what's going to happen here as Coach Sharbaugh of the Scarlet Hawks is going to call a timeout, kind of get his team to regroup. We'll take it with them. 2-0 Cornell. You're watching Illinois Tech Men's Lacrosse on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Back at Stuart Field with the Cornell College Rams up 2-0. 2:04 to go here in the first quarter. And Coach Sharbaugh had called the timeout to kind of get his team reset here. There's a lot of unforced errors that he was seeing. Actually, both teams were having that issue, but the last one, Coach Sharbaugh had seen enough, and he called a timeout to kind of settle the team down. Here are the Rams in the attack zone. Here's Card. Card will go behind the net and swing it over to Kobitz. Kobitz trying to get it back to Card, and Rankin is able to steal. Gets it to Johnson. Johnson outlet to Gortson. Gortson high, and he finds, that's Drake Dubeck. Dubeck now gets it over to Porter, and he'll head out. Porter behind the net to Stocker. Hawks bench calls play yellow. At least that's what I think they're calling. Hawks swinging around the perimeter. Stockerp over to Brass. Brass feeds it to Sosa. Sosa bounce shot. Didn't get a whole lot on that one. Kind of slipped out of the cross. But it will remain Hawk ball. Alexander Stockerp, 42 seconds on the shot clock on the restart. Porter to Montgomery. Montgomery to Sosa to Brass. Brass on the far side. He'll go up high to Montgomery. And they'll swing it quickly to Porter. Behind the net, Stockerp. Back to Porter, back to Montgomery. 24 on the shot clock. Here's Sosa fires. Bounce shot and another save for Cook. Recovery by Rabusi. Sosa shoots, and that one high and wide. And that'll be Hawk ball. They reset the shot clock on that last shot by Sosa and the save by Cook. We'll go to Brass. Brass will step back over to Montgomery, back to Brass. Brass looking for a lane, none forthcoming. And then good defensive pressure applied there by Tyler Foster. Are they going to call it a good goal? They're going to call it a good goal. Diego Sosa gets the goal just as the horn sounds. And the Hawks cut their deficit in half, 2-1. So we'll go. Illinois Tech goal scored by number 20, Diego Sosa. Assist number 3, Alexander Stockerp. So we'll take a quarter break here. Illinois Tech trails 2-1. You're watching Illinois Tech Men's Lacrosse on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Back at Stuart Field, start of the second quarter. In the circle we go. It'll be Ash Holscher against Canyon Kukul for the Scarlet Hawks for the faceoff. 2-1 Cornell leads. A late last-second goal in the first quarter by Diego Sosa cut the Hawks' deficit in half to 2-1. And then a steal there by Alton Brown, taking it away from Tori Grace Collins. It's going to be Cornell ball. I missed the violation there, but either way, it'll be Cornell ball. They'll bring it into the attack zone. Now that ball dislodges. Henry Rankin picks it up. So a caused turnover there by 4. And they get it across field over to Bodie Gortson, who's going to try and carry it over the midfield stripe. He does. He clears, and then he finds Alton Brown. Alton Brown was dislodged of the ball, caused by Ben Schwartz, and then recovered ground ball by Tori Grace Collins. They get back over to Grace Collins. So again, 32 in white, playing at a high level here. We've called his name several times, and he's forced quite a few turnovers. And Cornell gets the ball inside the zone. Tough shot there coming from Caden Lynch, and now we get a flag. It looks like it's going to be on the Hawks. Or maybe not. It's a push penalty on Alton Brown, so 30 seconds, so a man-up opportunity here for the Rams as they reset the clock. And they're going to call timeout. So we'll keep it here. That was their timeout, right? Timeout, Cornell. Cornell timeout. So 30-second penalty on Alton Brown, and the man-up opportunity for Cornell begins now. A release at 13:27. Here's Landon Card. And they'll go over to the near side, falling down there, Tyler Foster, but he is able to get back on his feet. Back over to Caden Lynch, feeding it inside. And it's picked up there by Tyler Foster. Penalty is over now. Both teams back at full strength. And we get an interference call against Cornell, so it'll be Hawk ball as Johnson pushes it upfield. Iwasaki is able to recover it. I don't know what they called there, but it's Cornell's ball. Oh, what a save by Johnson on a point-blank opportunity there by the Rams. That was Norwood. Now Manukian being tracked from behind. Lofts it over to Iwasaki. He'll cut through the circle and just slingshot it over to Brass and head off. As Sosa will join the offensive party. Here's Jackson Brass. Bounce shot, score! Jackson Brass gets the equalizer. We're tied at 2. Illinois Tech goal. Scored by number 12, Jackson Brass. Unassisted. To the circle we go. And that was 24, Caden Kwan going against Tomas Sheffrin for the Hawks. And Cornell won possession. They swing it over to Ben Schwartz. Schwartz gets it over the midfield stripe. And then it's stolen away by, again, his numeral sake, another steal for Henry Rankin on his counterpart, number 4, Ben Schwartz. Dubeck hands it off to Sosa. Sosa moving around Alex Wallace. Sosa now being double and triple teamed. He'll go up high. Jonathan Vitale will enter the fray. Brass up high to Sosa. Vitale will cut through the paint. Brass behind the net, Stocker. Porter far side. Up high to Sosa, back to Porter. Porter will go back to Stocker behind the net. Oh, and then a pass for Sosa goes awry, but Jackson Brass will try and get the recovery, and he forcing it ahead. He gets there. Swings it to Will Von Iser. Back to Sosa. Sosa winds up. Is that in? It's in. It's a good goal. Diego Sosa on the feet from Will Von Iser. And the Hawks go up 3-2. That will. Illinois Tech goal. Second of the game scored by number 20, Diego Sosa. Assist number 18, Will Von Iser. The Hawks grab the lead. 3 unanswered goals for Illinois Tech. We're going to get a holding violation against the Hawks, so that'll be a Cornell ball. It was a high-energy game here. These teams battling. And a shot goes wide off the stick of Ash Holscher, the face-off specialist. But the Rams will retain possession behind the net. Charlie Kobitz. Over to Card. Landon Card. Now the ball is dislodged. Manukian try to pick it up. Now Rankin, and Rankin gets it. And he'll give it over to Johnson for the release. Johnson back to Manukian. Micah Manukian. Cross midfield stripe, clear for the Hawks. And he'll find Yano Porter on the far side and head out. Stocker setting up in his office behind the net. Now he'll trade places with Porter and hand it off to Sosa on the far side. Sosa up high. 2 defenders between him. No lane. He'll give it back up to Porter. Stocker. Over to Porter. Porter. Unable to come up with the loose ball. And now Porter finally does. Gets it over to Connor Montgomery. 30 seconds on the shot clock. Knocked down was Jager Brault. He was dislodged from the earth on that play. And now Cornell will bring it into the zone. Heavy hitting here in this game. And a shot, and that one hit the post. Johnson might have got a piece of it, but then it hit the right post. Ricocheted all the way over to the near sideline. No one's come up with it yet. And now we got a player down. And it's going to be Cornell ball. They'll reset the shot clock to full 60. Or 60, I should say. The full is full 80. Oh, and then Caden Lynch unable to come up with that ball. Thought he had that for sure. It didn't look difficult, but then the Hawks again. Porter just did well just to keep it in play, but it's taken away by Ben Schwartz, who moves it quickly upfield. Ryan Devine over to the near side. That one went off the cross of Kobitz, and it was picked up by Gortson. Johnson to Rankin. Rankin now will carry it upfield, look for an outlet. He finds Micah Manukian, who crosses the midfield stripe for the clear. Manukian over to Brass. They'll trade places. Brass will swing it to Sosa. Will Von Iser coming in from the sideline. And now Mark Rabusi. And he'll get the ball just above the restraining line there. Over to Stocker. Sosa. He thought that one went in, but it might have hit the cross, hitting the side of the net. Oh, that ball was partially deflected. Who's going to come up with it? It's Sosa and the Hawks. Sosa coming in, trying to get a shot through, spinning twice, 3 times, Then the flag comes down, and it'll be an Illinois Tech man-up opportunity as it's going to be a hold. "30-second holding penalty on Tori Grace Collins. So it'll be a man-up opportunity for the Hawks. 7:51 to go in the second quarter. The Hawks up 3-2. They trail 2-0. 3 unanswered goals by Illinois Tech. And they've moved out to a 3-2 lead with a chance to add on to it with the man-up opportunity. Stocker. Porter. Back to Stocker. Brass. Now to Von Iser. To Brass. Feeding it inside. Knocked down right away. We're going to get another penalty as Rebusi hit from behind and going off and saying his bad was Tyler Foster. He even tapped Rebusi on the way to the box. So new penalty. The other penalty had expired. It expired at 7:28. Wait a minute. That can't be right. It should be 18 seconds. 48, 38, 28, 18. They said there wouldn't be math, but anyway. Probably should have been 2 or 3 ticks on the clock, but either way, it's Tyler Foster with a new 30-second penalty at 7:20, so 6:50 will be his release. Here's Stocker. The Brass shot, save made Cook. So Thomas Cook with a nice save. And again, you recall all those saves he made in that first quarter, several point-blank opportunities. This score could be a lot higher. And now dislodged of the ball was Cook, but able to pick up the loose change was Ace Rivera. He gets points just for his name. Here's Card behind the goal line, Rankin tracking him. Card will swing it back behind the net over to Kobitz, Charlie Kobitz. He'll slow things down, 46 on the shot clock. 6:25 to go in the second quarter, 3-2 Illinois Tech. Kobitz now pulling it up high. Tried to cut in and out, and then he'll peel back. And then a pass that was intended for, I think, Rivera. Now, no, check that. That was for Ben Wojcicki. Wasn't able to get the connection, but then he got it back. And back in action is Cornell, and they'll have possession. 72 seconds on the shot clock as the Hawks had turned that over after Wojcicki had lost the ball. Here's Card. Landon Card to Kobitz. Kobitz to Warnke. Warnke has the ball dislodged. He gets it back. Brandon Warnke will circle behind the net looking for Landon Card. That's where he goes with it. Rankin. Oh, he put it between the legs. A nutmeg in Lacrosse, if that's possible. And then the ball went out of bounds, however, but good thinking there by Four. He was running out of real estate, so he just tried to push it between the legs of the defender, but the ball went out of bounds. It would have been a neat play had he been able to pull it off. Here's Kobitz. 37 on the shot clock for Cornell. He's being double-teamed, force high, and they'll hand it up to Brandon Warnke. Warnke over to Lynch. Lynch trying to fight through pressure from Alton Brown. Now Landon Card. Card parallel with the goal line. Spins down and back up. Card behind the net to Kobitz, who misplayed it momentarily. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Warnke back to Kobitz. And they're just going to have to let it roll, and they'll wing it over into the corner. Shot clock violation for the Rams, so good defense by Illinois Tech. And Kyle Johnson will have it on the restart for the Hawks. He's got Gortson to his right, and he goes up high to Jaeger Brault. Brault crosses the midfield stripe. And he's looking for a release. He gets through the circle. Now he'll get into the attack zone, hands it off to Dubeck. Up high to Brass, and Dubeck will check out. Jonathan Vitale cuts inside. Connor Montgomery, Yano Porter, over to Von Iser. Montgomery, Brass to his right. That's where he goes with it. Brass will circle it back up high to Von Iser. No lane there. He'll change places with Brass. Now over to Montgomery, behind the net, Stocker. Over to Vitale. Vitale thought about it and put it back to Porter. Montgomery to Porter. Over to Vitale. Stocker, bounce shot save made. Cook! And a ground ball recovery there by Tyler Foster. Foster gets the clear. Foster into the attack zone. Fires a shot. That one goes wide. Johnson might have got a piece of it, so they'll reset the clock. Yeah, he did. But then we got a player down for Cornell. And we'll have a officials timeout to tend to the fallen Ram. And we'll take it with them. It's 3-2 Illinois Tech. 3:23 to go. Illinois Tech men's lacrosse on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Back at Stuart Field, walking off on his own power is Tyler Foster. Needs to be shaken up. Not sure if it's a leg injury or a back injury, but he's kind of hunched over on the sidelines now. So he's not in a good state, so Seven and White will be out for a little bit here. Hopefully he's able to return, but he's down for the count for the moment. Turnover by the Rams as Johnson pushes it to Manukian, who looks to cross midfield. And he meets the check there from Xavier Higgins and continues on. Pass over to Stocker. So good job by Manukian to fight off the pressure from Higgins. Montgomery. Shot score! Connor Montgomery puts it between the legs of Cook. And the Hawks open up a 2-goal lead, 4-2. Illinois Tech goal scored by number 7, Connor Montgomery, unassisted. So Connor Montgomery with the tally. The Hawks go up 4-2. And again, give credit to Micah Manukian for fighting off 2 or 3 hard plays there, checks from Higgins, and to be able to get that ball into the attack zone, that started the sequence for the Hawks, and they wound up scoring subsequently. Face-off win for Holscher had the ball knocked free, so a turnover by Holscher. Face-off win and a turnover, ground ball turnover. And Vitale will bring it into the zone. Hawks looking to add. We got a flag on the field on the far side, or the near side, I guess, from the live stream standpoint. We're broadcasting across the field, so we'll be on your far side where the team sidelines are. But I'll keep it in check with our viewers. So a flag on the far side Shot goes wide by Jackson Brass, but now we're going to get a holding penalty on Cornell. "30-second holding penalty on Holscher." So Ash Holscher. Release is 131. A little disagreement there between the official and head coach Lane Zerton. Here's Stocker. Von Iser over to Brass. They work it around the perimeter. Up high to Brass. Stocker. There's Sosa. Sosa's shot. That was blocked. Getting in front of that one was Zach Arnold. And the ball is still loose. Hawks get the recovery. Penalty is over. Both teams back at full strength. As Stocker has to swing it over. 18 seconds on the shot clock. 1:16 to go in the second quarter. Over to Stocker. They find Porter. Over to Rabusi. Rabusi, backhand pass, finds Sosa, shot high, and it goes wide. And that'll be shot clock violation on Illinois Tech. The Rams try and push it upfield, but Bodie Gertzen tries to get in front of that one. He wasn't able to corral it. Now play along that near sideline. Players tumbling over. I think Gertzen might get a penalty here. Yeah, so I think Gertzen got the push, and the Rams will call a timeout with 47 seconds remaining. Timeout, Cornell. Cornell, timeout. We'll take it with them. 4-2 Hawks on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Back at Stuart Field. Cornell timeout is over. 47.3 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. 4-2 Illinois Tech. 4 unanswered goals for the Hawks after Cornell had jumped out to a 2-0 first quarter lead. Oh, we're going to get another penalty on the Hawks there. That'll be on Jager Brault. 33 seconds. Cornell battling, and they pick up the ball as Norwood. And now, once the Hawks gain possession, the flag will come. Looks like it'll be a pushing penalty. So we got a man-up opportunity here for the Rams. There's only 21 seconds remaining in the quarter. Kobetz battling there with Alton Brown. Kobetz, and his pass goes awry. Keeping it in nicely, however, was Card. They're going to have to get a shot off, and they're unable to as time winds down in the second quarter. So we'll go to halftime with Illinois Tech leading Cornell 4-2. This is Illinois Tech Men's Lacrosse and the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Back at Stuart Field. It is a 4-2 lead for Illinois Tech as we've started the second half here. This cable doesn't want me to stray too far. I'm going to fix this. There we go. Try this again. 4-2, Illinois Tech on top. We've switched our camera angles as the sun, as it starts to set, not set, but lower. Our camera faces west, which is not ideal at this time of day, and so the sun from our huddle camera on the east side that faces west becomes tough to see the play, so we switched to our manual camera that we used for the Senior Day festivities. And we're going to use that for the second half. Here's Jackson Brass with a bounce shot and Cook making the save. And he'll carry it forward well out of his net. And he stumbles a little bit and he goes down, but he hangs on to the ball. He does. What a job by Cook. He'll hand it off. Oh, if he lost that ball while he fell down, might have had a wide open net for the Hawks to shoot through. They've scored a couple goals that way. And remember Henry Rankin firing one from almost past midfield when a goalkeeper had vacated their net. Slingshot, that one hit off of Henry Rankin, and he's feeling that one. That definitely was not on target. Although I'm sure Rankin wishes it was on the goalie, not on him. Now Bodie Gortson will carry it through the circle, and he'll find Yano Porter. Porter across field pass to Vitale. Cornell really quick on their coverage, at least the start of this second half, this third quarter. Not a whole lot of time and space for Hawk players as soon as they touch the ball. The Hawks will have to be patient and work through that. Maybe they'll get some overplays. But right now, Cornell doing a good job and good stick in the lane there, passing lane by John Leon Pennell. Here's Brass. 22 seconds on the shot clock. Porter works it around the backside to Stocker. 15 on the shot clock. Here's Brass up high. That's where the ball will go. Over to Porter. Porter. Score! No! Jonathan Vitale on the feed from Jackson Brass. Jonathan Vitale gets a Senior Day goal. And the Hawks go up by 3. 5-2. Illinois Tech goal scored by number 9, Jonathan Vitale. Assist number 12, Jackson Brass. So the seniors hooking up for a Senior Day goal for Jonathan Vitale. Brass has got a goal. I think we're just waiting for Porter to get a tally, and then the 3 Hawk offensive players who celebrated Senior Day will get on the board with a goal. We can't be greedy. It's been a tight scoring affair. It's only 5-2. Other seniors, Ty Dwyer. Shot save made by Cook on the shot from Porter. Looking to get that tally. And then Kyle Johnson's the other senior, so if he scores, we'll have something to talk about. Ball brought into the zone by Zach Arnold, and then he'll release. Charlie Kobitz behind the net. Go over to Matt Norwood on the near side, back to Kobitz. Kobitz in the X. Over to Holscher. Holscher with the slingshot and a save made by Kyle Johnson. He'll step back, look for a release, and he'll pump it upfield to Micah Manukian. Manukian being pressured from behind. And Manukian points back at Caden Weaver after he crossed the midfield line as Weaver was unable to get the turnover. No fun and games there from Manukian. Sosa looking to wind up. He's unable to, so he'll pass it to Stocker. Porter back to Stocker. Stocker over to Sosa on the far side. Well, this will be our near side again because we changed camera angles, so it'll be true to where our broadcast location is. Montgomery winds up, bounce shot, save made. Cook. He almost deflected it into the net, but he was able to recover the ground ball off the rebound. And now bringing the ball upfield is Ben Schwartz. Schwartz will carry the mail over the midfield stripe, and he'll swing it over to Ryan Devine. Devine's pass intended for Kobitz goes out of bounds, and that'll be Illinois Tech ball on the restart. Bodie Gortson finds Jaeger Brault. Brault with plenty of green space in front of him, so he'll clear. And he'll wait for some reinforcements and get it into the offensive zone. Over to Montgomery. And now Vitale. Over to Brass, behind the net, Stocker. 5-2 Illinois Tech, 7:23 to go here in the third quarter. 5 unanswered goals for Illinois Tech. Montgomery will push it over to Stocker, tries to cross. Tried to pass that one to Vitale through a lot of traffic, did Stockerp, and Cornell was able to knock the ball away and recover. Jaeger Brault in to the action. Kobitz sets it up behind the net over to Norwood. Matt Norwood. Now to Caden Lynch. Lynch being guarded by Dubeck. Lynch passes it into Norwood, whose shot goes wide of the left post. 40 seconds on the shot clock. Kobitz will have it on the restart for Cornell. There's Landon Card. Card being guarded by Owen Duasaki. They'll have to hand it off to Holscher. Holscher wasn't able to connect on that one. And we're going to get a push on Cornell. So it'll be Illinois Tech ball on the restart. And it'll be Bodie Gortson to start it over. He'll cross field pass to Henry Rankin. Rankin finds Brault. Slips and gets up. Goes over the midfield stripe. And now he has Diego Sosa over on the far side, and that's where he goes with it as Sosa was calling for it. He cuts through the circle. Diego Sosa peels back. Now Vitale. Vitale winds up, shot. Oh, that might have gone off of Ben Schwartz. So each number 4 for each team absorbing shots. And getting it is Vitale on the feed from Rabusi. What a pretty play. Jonathan Vitale with his second goal on the feed from Mark Rabusi, and the Hawks go up 6-2. Illinois Tech goal is second of the match, scored by number 9, Jonathan Vitale. Assist number 32, Mark Rabusi. Cornell wins the faceoff. It's a 6-2 lead for the Scarlet Hawks, 6 unanswered goals. for Illinois Tech, and Jonathan Vitale with a pair of goals on senior day. That's how you do it. Spinning around is Landon Card. He's being pressured there from Micah Manukian. Turnover, and Dubek picks up the loose change. He's headed over the midfield stripe. He gets the clear. Drake Dubek winds up, shot, bounce shot, and that goes over the head of Thomas Cook. And it'll remain Illinois Tech ball. Rabusi finds Brass. Brass gets it inside to Porter looking for his senior day goal, but he lost possession. Now they're still battling for it behind the net. Who's going to come up with it? And it is the goaltender. It's Thomas Cook. Cook being pressured by Brass. And then he releases over to Tori Grace Collins. But Grace Collins' pass, he was able to get Caden Weaver deep in the near corner. And now Cornell will look to set it up. Norwood back to Kobitz. Kobitz up high. Shot, score! Tyler Foster from Charlie Kobitz. And Cornell breaks the string of 6 unanswered goals. They cut their deficit in half, 6-3. Cornell goal scored by number 7, Tyler Foster. Assist number 17, Charlie Kobitz. And what are we going to get here? It's going to be Illinois Tech ball on that far sideline, as the Hawks did a good defensive job gumming up the works there for Julian Pennell. Sosa to Brass behind the net, Rabusi. Porter, Montgomery, Sosa, shot, and a save made by Cook. I don't know if that would have went wide, but either way, Cook was able to regain possession for Cornell as they loft that ball over near the midfield stripe. And we're going to get a whistle on Illinois Tech, so Cornell will retain the possession. Charlie Kobitz. 6-3 with 3:05 remaining in the third quarter. Illinois Tech on top. It was 2-0 early in the first quarter for Cornell. The Hawks got a last-second goal to cut the deficit to 2-1 in the first quarter. And then they scored 3 unanswered in the second quarter, 2 unanswered in the third before Foster was able to get that third goal for Cornell. And that's where we stand, 6-3 with 2:37 remaining in the third. It's been a good game. Not a high-scoring affair, but a lot of good plays. There's been some sloppiness, too. Let's be honest, there's been a lot of unforced turnovers. Oh, and then there's one of them. I think, though, I would give that one, technically, Landon Card should have received that one, but he was unable to corral it. I don't think it was a bad pass by Kobitz by any means, but Card wasn't able to track it down, a turnover, and the Hawks will look to get into the attack zone. Here's Connor Montgomery. Finds Diego Sosa back to Montgomery, who was looking to shoot and didn't watch the ball all the way into the cross. Then he gets it back. And pressured from behind was Sosa. He sidesteps the pressure there coming from Caden Kwan. Brass to Rabusi. Rabusi now in that X position for the last several possessions. And a slingshot from Porter goes wide. The Hawks will retain possession. Again, Yano Porter looking to get on the score sheet with a goal, get a senior day goal, and join his teammates, senior teammates, Jonathan Vitale and Jackson Brass. That's not what the Hawks are intentionally looking to do, but I think as the game moves along, they'll try and set up 5 in black. As that shot goes wide by Sosa by a good amount, but Rebusi's there for the reach. 33 on the shot clock. Montgomery will go over to the near side. Behind the net, Rebusi. Inside feed to Will Von Iser, who was cutting. Not sure if, no, Cook did not get a piece of that. The shot clock did not reset, so it just went wide, or it was deflected. 19 on the shot clock, Porter up high to Sosa. Now to Brass. Brass looking to get it to Porter. Porter feeding it behind the net. Inside to Von Iser, picked up by Sosa. Sosa, slingshot, and a save made by Cook. And Cook with the ground ball recovery. What a save by Cook. That was a tough shot by Sosa, low between the legs, and Cook was able to deny. Now Cornell, Charlie Kobetz. Tyler Simmons racing into the defensive zone. For the Hawks. And now Ash Holscher. Holscher battling with Manukian, who goes down. They'll swing it over to Kobetz on the near side. Up high to Card. Back to Kobetz. Over to Norwood. On the near side, they go to Weaver. And a shot. That one never gets through. Johnson didn't see it, and then Holscher picked it up. And then the shot clock winds down. A shot clock violation on. Actually, no, that wasn't a shot clock. That was the third quarter ending. And we'll go to the fourth quarter with Illinois Tech up 6-3. This is Illinois Tech Men's Lacrosse on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Back at Stuart Field, Illinois Tech holding a 6-3 lead as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. To the circle we go. For the Hawks, it'll be Dwayne Akins. It'll be Ben Wojcicki for Cornell. Good senior day crowd on hand. Good weather, much better weather than we've had for many of the lacrosse home games so far. It'll be Illinois Tech ball on the faceoff violation. So now the Hawks will get set up, looking to add on to their lead. 6-3, Illinois Tech. Montgomery, Sosa, Brass on the far side. Back up high to Sosa. Now Montgomery. Here's Porter. Brass. Brass trying to reach Porter, and again, that definitely looks like they're intentionally trying to feed it to Yano Porter to get him on the score sheet. But the pass from Brass just wasn't there. It sailed high, so turnover by Brass. And Cornell will go on the attack. Falling down, however, was Ryan Devine, and the ball got knocked out of bounds, so it'll be Illinois Tech ball on the restart. Here's Micah Manukian. Manukian will swing it to Brass. Now Sosa. Alton Brown will slide out, and Connor Montgomery will slide in. Logan McLean will come in as Micah Manukian will head out. As Coach Sharbaugh gets his offensive set. Oh, then we get a whistle. So they're at an issue with the shot clock, so the referee stopped play. We'll see what it should be at. It stopped running is what they were saying. Now, sometimes there's been issues in the past with the both shot clocks syncing up. They're both sitting at 50, so we're going to see what it should be set at. Oh, so is the game clock 2? 13:37 on the game clock. Is it not working? Rohit, is it not working? He said to reset it to 13:37. All right, so game clock has been adjusted to 13:37. .42 seconds on the shot clock. Connor Montgomery up high to Brass. They'll cross it over to Sosa. Brass. Montgomery. Over to Brass. Brass shoot, score! Oh, what a shot by Jackson Brass. Connor Montgomery just tossed it over, and Brass fired it into the net. 7-3 Hawks. Illinois Tech goal scored by number 12, Jackson Brass. Assist number 7, Connor Montgomery. Well, the first-year player Montgomery hooking up with the senior Jackson Brass. This will be their only season being paired together, but they've been a good pairing for the Hawks this season. And Montgomery's going to be one of the players who's going to have to pick up some of that offensive slack when the likes of Brass, Porter, and Vitale graduate from the team. There's still plenty of firepower, however, with Montgomery along with Diego Sosa, Mark Rebusi in there. Hawks push it upfield to Owen Diwasaki. Finds Porter. Porter to Rebusi. Here's Vitale, winds up, bounce shot, that one. They're going to say he got a piece of it, did Cook, so they'll reset the shot clock to 60, so a save for Cook. Nice shot by Vitale. (7-3) Illinois Tech, 12:22 to go. Brass over to Vitale. Vitale had the ball knocked free by Tori Grace Collins. And then the ball was knocked loose, but we get a flag on Illinois Tech. So we'll see who the call's against. Very active crowd here. And it looks like it's on someone. We got a 1-minute penalty on Jackson Brass. I think they said 12. So Brass will go to the box for 1 minute. I think it was an elbow. So a man-up opportunity for Cornell, and they can use it trailing by 4, 7-3. It'll be a release at about 11:05. Lynch over to Card, back to Lynch on the near side. Getting a stick in there was Alton Brown on the pass from Kobetz. So another long stick midfielder doing what they're supposed to do with the long stick is get in the way of those passing lanes. Long stick defender, long stick midfielder, whatever you want to call him. Defending the play there. Here's Kobetz. Comes in, shoots, save made. Kyle Johnson on the bounce shot from Charlie Kobetz. And now Norwood will apply pressure. Johnson will look for a lane, and he finds Micah Manukian, who's getting trailed from behind. Jager Brault left a bounce off of an attacker there. He'll change directions, crosses through the circle. Brault. He finds Rabusi. Now Rabusi. He has Alton Brown out front. The pass wasn't clean, however, and it's turned over. And now Cornell looking to get in business. They will. Inside the zone goes Devine. Coach Sharbaugh wanting a flag, none forthcoming. He's very unhappy with what he's seen from the officials here. Pass, side of the net. And it's stolen! As Weaver tried to feed it inside, and Johnson got his stick out there and took it away. Good job by Kyle Johnson. Now here's Manukian. Stutter step, crosses the midfield stripe. He's being hacked and whacked from behind. He'll release, and he has it stolen away. Another steal by Torrey Grace Collins. Man, he has been impressive. 32 looked to wind up, then he tries to pass it in the middle. Gets pushed off the play, and Henry Rankin picks up the ground ball. Owen Diwasaki getting double teamed in the circle. He slingshots it over to Diego Sosa, and the Hawks clear. 9:34 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Hawks up by 4. They trailed 2-1 after 1, and they took control in the second quarter and haven't relinquished since. As that shot goes wide. Cornell on offense, 8:35 to go, 7-3 lead for Illinois Tech as they work it around the perimeter to Kobetz. And we're going to get a timeout called by Cornell. We'll take it with them. 7-3, Illinois Tech on top. Back at Stuart Field. Cornell's timeout is over, and now they have the ball on offense with 8:25 to go, trailing by 4. Lynch. They'll work it to Card over on the far side. Card had the ball knocked away by Henry Rankin. And Rankin picks up the ground ball. He gets the cause turnover and the ground ball. And he gets shoved down to the turf for his efforts. Inside the zone, Dubek's pass was knocked away by Lynch. But Dubek gets it back and hands it off to Brass. Jackson Brass. Crossfield pass over to Sosa. And again, Coach Sharbaugh is not happy with the officiating. Here's Porter. Porter, Rabusi, bounce pass over to Brass. Feeding it inside to Vitale. Shot went astray. Kind of got deflected there, and then carrying the mail upfield is Caden Kwan. Kwan's pass was knocked away. Now the Hawks get the possession back. They push it upfield to Sosa. Nice reception by 20 in black as we reach the 7-minute mark. They roll the ball over to Will Von Iser. Von Iser, one of those first-year players, is going to have to pick up some of that offensive slack for the departing seniors. As Coach Sharbaugh has built a tough, competitive program here in the NAC. Rabusi whacked from behind there, but he maintains possession. Goes over to Porter. Porter up high to Montgomery. Over to Brass. Brass feeding it inside to Von Iser. Von Iser was thinking about underhanding it. Underhanded shot, but it wasn't able to get through, but the Hawks will retain possession. 34 seconds on the shot clock, Von Iser. Oh, 60. They reset it to 60. So they're saying Cook got a piece of that one. And Rabusi. Over to Porter. Back to Montgomery. Over to Sosa. Montgomery over to Porter. Porter fires. He goes wide. A little off target there, Yano Porter. .36 seconds on the shot clock. Montgomery. Brass. Brass shoots. That one goes wide. Illinois Tech ball. Rabusi will have it on the restart. Let's see if he goes to Porter here. And it's where he goes. Porter quickly goes up high to Montgomery. Shot and a save. Shot by Sosa, save made by Thomas Cook. Nice save there by 20, or by 8. 20 was a shooter. A pass. Trying to keep it in was Ben Schwartz, but it was just a little too high. He tried to tightrope that sideline on the far side, just wasn't able to do it. Von Iser to Porter. Back up high to Von Iser. Back to Porter. And what do we get here? What should they call it? Offsides? Or the call was, but it's Cornell ball, and they'll take it through the circle. Here's Devine. Devine over to Norwood and passing it inside. Trying to catch it one-handed was Caden Kwan. That didn't go well, and the Hawks recovered. Johnson launches it over to Rankin. Rankin will cut through the circle, and then he'll find a release of Manukian along the far sideline. He'll slow it down. Hawks look to get some numbers out there. Brass. Vitale. Sosa. Rabusi to Porter. Here's Von Iser over to Jackson Brass. Von Iser. Oh, Sosa in tight, scores. What a play. How do you leave Sosa that wide open, and Von Iser didn't miss him. Diego Sosa with the goal, Von Iser with the assist, and the Hawks go up 8-3. Illinois Tech goal scored by number 20, Diego Sosa. Assist number 18, Will Von Iser. Illinois Tech has opened up a 5-goal lead, 8-3 with 4:13 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Cornell carries that ball into the zone, as doing a good job holding on and winning the faceoff was Ash Holscher. Now here's Norwood behind the net. He's being pressured there by Owen Silverman. And now Caden Lynch. Lynch changes direction, goes up high to Norwood, looking for a lane. Silverman knocked the ball loose, I believe. And who's going to come up with it? And it's going to be Brandon Warnke for the Rams. But then the pass, kept in there by Caden Weaver. That one almost trickled out of bounds on that far side. Weaver up high to Card. Landon Card. Alton Brown applying pressure. And then he tried to dump that pass over to that far side. Weaver was able to recover. Here's Norwood. Norwood. Good job by Silverman to push him wide. Trying to feed it inside to Weaver. Back to Weaver. 2-1. Shot goes wide. And that's a shot clock violation on Cornell. Good defense by the Hawks. Shot clock violation on the Rams. Here's Johnson over to Tyler Simmons. Simmons passes to the circle to Brass, who breaks free. Tries to get through 3 defenders. He loses it. And good defense applied there by the Rams. As Manukian battling there. In a double team, we're going to get a flag on the Hawks. As holding on to that ball, doing a great job, Tyler Foster. And you could get a penalty to either Dubek or Manukian. Let's see who gets it. It's on Manukian. Push. A 1-minute penalty there on Manukian. And I think we're getting another timeout by Cornell. We'll take it with them. 8-3, Illinois Tech on top. And back at Stuart Field, 8-3 Illinois Tech, 2:14 to go. The timeout is over for Cornell. Let's see what they drew up here to cut their deficit in half. And Owen Silverman with the cause turnover and ground ball, and then he coughs it up. Well, the team's playing keep away here. Grace Collins picked up the ground ball at midfield, just like lofted it into the zone. It'll be Cornell ball with 1:49 to go. They still have a man-up opportunity on the penalty. Save made by Johnson, with Manukian serving the penalty. And they go to the middle, and Dubek and gets it over to Vitale. Vitale crosses the midfield stripe. They get it over to Porter. Let's see if they try and get Porter a shot here. And he's going to work his way inside the zone. Porter trying to get it. Bounce shot. He goes wide of the near post. You can tell he was determined to get that shot off. And unfortunately, that's going to be Cornell ball. So a one and done for the Hawks on that possession as the pass is lofted. But it's going to go out of bounds and it'll be Hawk ball. So again, let's see if the Hawks can set things up for Five and Black. See if they can get his senior day tally. That's pretty much the only thing left to decide for the Hawks, barring a miraculous comeback by the Rams. Here's Vitale. Over to Brass. Now Porter behind the net, over on the near side. He's just kind of playing decoy back there for the moment. We'll see if they can work him in. Oh, and then dislodging the ball was Alex Wallace. And then, what do we got here? We get a flag on Illinois Tech. So they called unnecessary roughness on Ty Dwyer, so Dwyer getting his name in the scorebook with a penalty, but senior day on the score sheet. Bounce shot, save made by Johnson. 20 seconds remaining. Johnson looking to push that ball upfield, looking for an outlet, doesn't have one yet. Then he bounces it into some traffic, and that's going to be picked up by that man, Grace Collins. Tori Grace Collins. Inside the zone they go, and a shot blocked by Silverman. And that'll do it. Illinois Tech. They come from behind, 8-3 victory. They trail 2-0. And then Diego Sosa got a goal with time expiring in that first quarter. The Hawks added to it in the second quarter to take a 4-2 halftime lead. They scored 4 more in the second half, 1 for Cornell, and that's our final score. 8-3 is your final. Well, thank you for tuning in to our doubleheader action. Lacrosse, women's lacrosse first game, men's lacrosse second game. Thanks for tuning in on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network, wherever you are. And we'll see you next time on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network.